there'll be a lot of lessons learned in terms of what we can do to make sure that this never happens again, because this needs to never happen again.
After 8 days of scrapped flights, Southwest finally getting back on track, but now that airline under fire for that holiday travel nightmare. This morning, after nearly 16,000 canceled flights, Southwest Airlines finally catching up.
All the flexibility and planning that we put in place to deal with the storm just wasn't enough. And so we've extended flexibility for self-service travel changes through January 2nd.
Fewer than 50 flights canceled today so far. This after 96% of airline cancellations on Thursday came from Southwest, scrapping holiday plans for thousands. The Sethmans forced to return home after their flight was delayed multiple times, then canceled, leaving the airport without their baggage and without car seats for their 2 children.
We had to hold our kids in the car and in the back seat because Southwest said there was no loaner car seats. They had been out since the day before.
Southwest now facing another daunting challenge, returning a sea of luggage strewn across airports nationwide. The company's stock plunging as other airlines stabilize their own earnings. As for those nearly 16,000 flights canceled since last Wednesday, the Department of Transportation now investigating.
We will penalize Southwest as we would any airline, to the tune potentially of tens of thousands of dollars per violation if they fail to meet what is required of them to take care of passengers.
Americans from coast to coast are preparing to ring in the new year as severe storms bring heavy snow and drenching rain. This is crazy. Oh boy. Roads in Colorado reopened after a storm caused a stretch of I-70 to close for 9 hours, bringing drivers to a standstill.
There has been so many accidents and so many stuck vehicles that I-70 has now been shut down for almost 10 hours. There's been a few people that I think were in the tunnel that were a little worried about carbon monoxide, and they had their kind of doors propped up with like a towel in front of.
And on the West Coast, an atmospheric river is set to disrupt New Year's travel as new winter storm watches and warnings are posted in Colorado, Utah, Nevada, and California. Meanwhile, in blizzard-ravaged western New York, the death toll continues to rise, with 39 deaths now confirmed in the area, and we're learning more about those who lost their lives, including Ladrice Curry, who died after having an asthma attack, the storm slowing rescuers who could not reach her in time.
I just want her to know that, I loved her son loved her, the whole family loved her.
And this morning, police in the town of Cheektowaga are looking for this man, who they're calling Merry Christmas Jay. Officers want to thank the man after he pulled people from cars and sheltered them in a nearby school. Heroic actions, they say, saved people's lives. Meanwhile, flooding is now the major concern in the Buffalo area.
With temperatures rising, the snow is starting to melt. Officials are clearing storm drains in anticipation of any flooding, and the state is on standby with 800,000 sandbags.